on the 11th of September 2001. I guess everybody over here experienced that in a different way. I will never forget that evening I had come home from the office, from the university, and opened the door of my house and found my wife watching. And just as I entered, it was the second plane which hit the tower. And I did not sleep that night. I was filled with anguish, with horror, with the kind of emotions that I'm sure all of us over here experienced. Well, the next day I went to the university, and I did not have a regular class schedule, but I did have a seminar which I have every 2 weeks for my students to let them think about things other than physics, genetic engineering, and what its implications are. So I went to that seminar, which had been pre-scheduled, and I said, we can't have this seminar today. Let's talk about terrorism. What we've seen yesterday makes it impossible to talk of anything else. My student said, 3 young women got up, one after the other, and said, what are you talking about? This wasn't terrorism. The Americans are our enemies. You're only worried because it is the Americans who have been killed? Look what they've done here, look what they've done there. And one after the other, they got up. And I said, no, you're wrong. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. You cannot kill innocent people. You cannot celebrate their murder. Even if you have the deepest disagreements with the government, it is people whose lives are sacred. And so we argued and we argued. For the next 3 hours, I succeeded in convincing them. But I know, one of the very few who could engage in this sort of argument. Inhuman, cruel, yes, but before we pass judgment on those who celebrated, and there weren't just a few of them, before we pass our final judgment on them, let us look around to see whether this inhumanity of man to man, woman to woman is just there or it's all around. Let's look. I don't know how many people in this country remember that on the 3rd of July 1988, the USS Vincennes shot down an Iranian airliner, killing all on board. The United States never apologized, never compensated the victims. Afghanistan, well, you know, there have been a few thousand dead over there. It's collateral damage. Our smart bombs made sure that it wasn't a huge tragedy. But look, there are thousands upon thousands dead in Afghanistan. There's just one single incident. There's a wedding party. They were celebrating, and they fire weapons in the air. And what they got was a bomb dropped upon them. Well, maybe by mistake, call it collateral. Iraq. Nobody in the United States, not in the media, is counting the Iraqi dead. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I watched on C-SPAN a Democratic senator who just returned from Iraq. And he said, the situation over there is bad. 40 people have died since President Bush declared victory. Now, note what he said. 40 people. Well, those people were American soldiers. Never mind the fact that for every one American killed over there, 5, 10, 15 Iraqis die. That American soldiers have fired into crowds. It's there in the New York Times, it's there in the newspapers over here. It doesn't make a difference. Nor is the United States public, I guess some of which is over here, particularly worried that the rationale for attacking Iraq, the weapons of mass destruction are nowhere to be found. Where are they?